Feeling financially stuck on a treadmill, constantly uphill with no end in sight? Bills pile like mountains, inflation's a runaway boulder, and retirement a shimmering mirage in the desert heat. What if I told you your financial freedom isn't a mirage, but a sunlit path paved with knowledge? Each new lottery winner with vanishing millions proves wealth and luck alone aren't enough. They lack the knowledge and skills to manage their finances. As a teacher, you're an expert in learning and skill building, uniquely equipped to conquer financial literacy. Imagine building your financial path stone by stone, leveraging your expertise in learning and skill development. Get off the treadmill and walk a different path. Join me on this empowering journey to unlock the knowledge of financial freedom. Let's walk that sunlit path together. Many of us, regardless of education or income, bury our heads in the sand when it comes to finances. Years ago, as an educator with some retirement savings, I felt responsible, yet clueless. Was I way off track? Was I saving too much? In a conversation with a friend who earned 10 times my salary, it became apparent he faced the same uncertainty. We lacked even a ballpark figure for retirement. 1 million? 2 million? Some experts at the time even suggested 5 or 10 million. We lacked a basic reference point, a number to aim for. No wonder people see numbers like 5 or 10 million, feel disheartened, leading some to resign themselves to working until I die and stop saving. And others ignore the issue entirely, choosing not to think about it, and thereby compromise their financial future, mental health, and well-being. But amidst the confusion, I found clarity with the guidance of 25 times your yearly expenses. This simple yet powerful number became my financial North Star. This isn't some magic number, but a logical starting point towards financial freedom. The freedom to choose your path, pursue your passions, and teach on your terms. This estimated nest egg allows you to retire when you want and live comfortably in old age without ever needing to touch the principal. What? I can responsibly retire before my 60s or even 70s? Yes. And lots of people are now work optional decades before their full retirement age based on this rule. Why use 25 times your expenses? It's grounded in research. It assumes a reasonable investment return based on over 100 years of data and accounts for the worst inflation over that time period. It's based on things you can control, your expenses. It's flexible. It works for diverse incomes and spending habits. For example, someone who spends $150,000 a year, or even someone who spends $40,000 a year. It's simple and actionable. No percentages or fancy formulas are needed to calculate your nest egg. However, it is based on lots of research and statistics. It gives you milestones to check along the way, like saving for 1 year of expenses, Coast-Fi, Lean-Fi, and Flex-Fi. It is liberating. Once I hit this number, I don't have to work for money anymore. I can work, but it isn't because I must to feed my family or keep a roof over their heads. Rather, I teach because I want to make a difference in this world. Or in other words, true financial independence. You don't have to take just my word for it. Do the math yourself. Average percentage of the market returns minus the percentage of average inflation equals expected future earnings. Multiply this percentage by your nest egg, which is 25 times your expenses. This calculates how much your nest egg can earn without spending any of the principal, creating a reliable source of income throughout your retirement, no matter how young you are when you reach that number. For example, let's say you spend $60,000 a year. 60,000 times 25 equals 1.5 million. Now multiply that 1.5 million by your expected future earnings of 4%, and you get back your yearly expenses of $60,000 a year in interest every year for as long as necessary. You can check other sources about the 25x rule or the 4% rule. Many resources discuss this concept, some calling it too conservative, others aggressive. I think it's close enough to start and adaptable on your journey so we can save that nuance for later conversations. Now that you understand the power of the 25x rule, you might wonder, can I really reach it? Relax, you don't have to shoulder that burden alone. The secret weapon? Compounding interest. This is where your investment snowballs over time, earning interest on both the initial investment and the accumulated interest. Imagine starting with just $100 invested monthly and assuming an average annual return of 8%, you might expect $24,000 after 20 years, or 240 months times 100. Oh, but thanks to compounding, the magic happens. After 20 years, your initial investment blossomed into a remarkable $58,000. That's a jaw-dropping $34,000 more than you saved. Extend that to 30 years, and your investment jumps to a whopping $149,000 compared to just the $36,000 you contributed. Now imagine starting this journey as a young teacher and continuing for 40 years. Your nest egg could reach a staggering $349,000. That's over 7 times the amount you initially invested. And just like the incremental gains from lifting weights, saving $100 per month feels easier and easier over time. Especially thanks to pay raises, it's possible to increase your savings over time, gradually increasing your monthly savings towards the recommended levels that will truly move the needle and bring you closer to that 25x goal. And remember, every little change you make today compounds over time, just like your investments. But the good news doesn't stop there. The 25x rule already considers other crucial factors like inflation and living expenses. And remember, you're in control of your expenses, which gives you the power to adjust the 25x number to a more comfortable level. We'll delve deeper into these concepts and strategies in future posts. So remember, the 25x rule is just a starting point, and as you get closer, you can refine your plan. The key is to take action. Consistent, small steps yield huge results. Think of this like lesson planning. A clear objective helps us guide our efforts and our students' learning. The 25x rule is your financial objective. It's another stepping stone on your path to financial freedom. Now imagine yourself, fellow teachers, walking alongside me on that sunlit path, leaving the financial treadmill and its burdens behind. Together, let us use the 25x rule to lead us towards a future where we can choose our own path. Take the first step today. Like and subscribe to join me on this classroom of financial freedom. Find me on YouTube at Not Your Average Joe MN, TikTok at Not Your Average Joe MN, and Teachers Pay Teachers, free science resources. It's time to learn, grow, and build a brighter future for ourselves and our loved ones.